Hello, I'm Herman Middleton, and welcome back to You Are Not a Machine. There are different kinds of societies around the world and throughout history, different religious societies, Buddhist, Muslim, there are communist societies, Christian societies, Jewish societies, and so on. Most of us in the post-Christian West live in a technological society. And of course, in this case, our technological society kind of overlaps with maybe a religious society of some sort, but mostly we live in a technological society. So this begs the question, of course, what is a technological society? In Jacques Ellul's classic text, titled The Technological Society, he refers to something he calls technique, by which he means, and here's a quote from him, the totality of methods rationally arrived at and having absolute efficiency for a given stage of development in every field of human activity. In Ellul's understanding, a technological society is a society that places the concept of efficiency at the heart of every aspect of life. At its heart, the technological society believes in science and in its handmade technology, in a similar way that, for example, a Christian society believes in Jesus Christ and his revelation in the Old and New Testaments. For most of us in the modern West, science and technology are where we first turn for hope in the face of life's problems. When there's something we don't understand, we turn to science to explain it to us. When we have a problem, we put our hope in science and its technological solutions. Because we were born into this technological society, it can be difficult both to see that this is true and to appreciate the consequences of this truth. A concept was developed about 70 years ago known as the technology adoption life cycle. Essentially, it charts the way in which a new technology enters into society. The earliest adopters are known as the innovators, and they are followed by the early adopters, an early majority, a late majority, and then finally the laggards. Today, when a new technology appears, we usually first encounter it in the news somewhere. Elon Musk and Tesla were famous long before most people encountered their first Tesla on the street. As the new technology goes through the adoption life cycle, we become increasingly comfortable with it. Perhaps at first we have reservations about a given technology, but after a few years, we get used to the idea. We see that others are adopting the technology safely and happily, and eventually we are ready to take the plunge ourselves. In this sense, technological adoption is a slippery slope that most of us do not even notice. By the time we finally adopt a new technology, we are under the impression that we have freely chosen to do so. In one sense, we have, but in another sense, this process is not without coercion. To quote René Girard again, man is the creature who does not know what to desire, and he turns to others in order to make up his mind. We desire what others desire because we imitate their desires. Humans have good natural intuition, a natural sense of what is good and what is bad for us. Sometimes this intuition is wrong, but more often than not, our natural intuitions are correct. It would, for example, be natural to be concerned about a technology such as Elon Musk's Neuralink, which creates physical connections between human brains and computers. The reality is, however, that many people are interested and open to having a computer attached to their brain. This is not because their natural intuition is telling them that it's a good idea, but because we are all swimming in a technological society that has been advocating for technology since we were born. If you went back 50 years and asked someone on the street if they thought that it'd be a good idea to connect a computer to their brain, they would have thought that you were crazy. How do I know this? I know it because some of those people are still alive today, and we can talk to them. So ask anyone who was an adult 50 years ago if they think Neuralink is a good idea. And I can more or less guarantee you that nearly every person over the age of 70 has a natural aversion to the idea of attaching a computer to their brain. But Herman, you might say, that's just because they don't understand computers and technology. Maybe. If that's the case, let me challenge you in the comments section below. Please explain to me what it is that someone over the age of 70 needs to know about Neuralink that would convince them that it's a good idea. I don't think there's anything that we actually know about the effects of Neuralink on the human person that would be convincing. And this brings us to the problem, of course. We don't know when a technology is developed what the side effects are going to be. Even after the fact, we tend to focus on the benefits of the technology rather than on its ill side effects. That's because the new technology reshapes the culture in its own image, making it appear that the new technology is a necessity. As we have become a technological society, the process of technological adoption increasingly includes elements of peer pressure, keeping up with the Joneses, and with René Girard's idea of mimesis, all of which diminish our free will and can work against our natural intuition. Finally, as Jacques Ellul said, in a technological society, there is only one essential criterion for the adoption of new technologies. Is it efficient? That is, does it work? Does it make my life easier in some way? So what to do? Again, we would do well to look at the wisdom of the Amish approach to technology. They place other criteria, such as community health, etc., above that of efficiency. And so they often come to different conclusions about a new technology than most of the modern world. Again, at the end of the day, each of us must decide what kind of life we want to live, what kind of people we want to be, what is important to us, and whether or not we want to actually have control over our lives, or if we are happy to simply be reshaped in the image of the new technologies that are foisted upon us daily. Okay, that's it for today. Thanks as always for tuning in. Please download the How Did We Get Here reading list, link in the show notes below, and I will see you again soon.